Welcome back to our channel!
Yeah, welcome back to our channel. If you're new to this channel, thank you for finding us, because we are nobodies. But yeah, thank you guys so much for finding us. For the old and new subscribers, hello. We are doing Music Corner. Now, what is Music Corner? It's like MJ Corner, but on Michael Jackson songs. Music Corner is basically me playing songs to my wife, very important songs, or just songs that I absolutely love by artists or bands that are my favorite, and we just kind of have a deep talk about it. This isn't really a reaction channel. This is more of like a deep analysis of the song. So hopefully you guys enjoy that. Today I'm very excited because we're doing a band that I absolutely love. We've done a few of their songs on this channel. Go check it out in the pinned comment. But it's The Broken View, who you are very familiar with.
Yes.
What are your initial thoughts on The Broken View?
My first initial thoughts are, I love them. I think every album that they have come out, it has been like different type of sounding, which is very hard to do actually. Because like he has always like introduced me to all his favorite bands, like all their songs, and I always find that sometimes like, you know, they find their sound, which is good, you know, which is I love too, but they find their sound and then they stick with it. But then for this band, they're changing their sound every album, and I think they're just getting better, and I love that. And I think like, you know, the songs are getting deeper. Just their sound, their melody, the Austin's voice is just really good.
I really love this band. This band has meant a lot to me in the last couple years. A lot of their songs have really like impacted me in such a beautiful way. We've already heard this song, but I just feel like right now it's such a good time to talk about the meaning behind it. It's a very different sounding song by them, especially with the message. This is something that they haven't really tackled, but very excited just to re-listen to the song again and re-watch the video with you and just kind of have, you know, a pretty good conversation with it. This song is called Man of Tomorrow. It's such a poignant song, so let's just get on to it. This is off of their upcoming album called Closure, which I believe comes out sometime in April. But yeah, this is The Broken View, Man of Tomorrow.
Let's go!
Where were you when he came into town? Quit your hiding, boy, look around. We know not on which he rode, but the man boy story once heard must be told. A better way is on the way now. Our hearts belong on our sleeves, but they made an example of him to make sure the man of tomorrow won't come again.
His voice just soars.
The guitar though too.
Said to be targeted political violence.
But the dangers to our country can come not only across borders, but from violence that gathers within.
Look what happened to the martyr they made of him.
This whole verse is like my favorite verse.
Yeah.
People walked for miles to see where he lay. Where were you when he came into town? Quit your hiding, boy, look around. We know not on which he rode, but the man boy story once heard must be told. A better way is on
someone said something that you don't like, that's violence towards me, which then justifies me being violent towards this person for speaking. That is a destructive mind virus in our society today.
Yeah.
He said, why are you running from my son? Don't hang your head for the things you've done. Live your life in honesty. He said, why are you running from my son? Don't hang your head for the things you've done. Live your life in honesty. Where were you when it came into town? Quit your hiding, boy, look around. No, not on which he rode, but the man boy story once heard must be told. A better way is on the way now. Now our hearts belong on our sleeves. But the made in a temple of them. Now the man of tomorrow is just like me.
Yeah, so catchy though.
Just like me.
All right, this is gonna be a bit of a tricky song to discuss, just because it's such a politically driven song. But we're gonna try to just kind of stay neutral because we don't like talking about politics. You know, that just brings a divide. But I feel like this song is very much, it can be discussed in a manner that you don't really have to be on either side of the political spectrum. But this is a very controversial, very powerful, generational song. So yeah, I want to get your thoughts on it.
I have my thoughts written down on it just because it's a very touchy song. But first is I want to just talk about, this is such a catchy song. And like, you know, the melody is so good. It's very different from what they've done before. Would it be right to say it's country? Yeah,
It does sound a bit country, yeah.
yeah, it's a little country, and I freaking love it. I had to really like listen to the song. The very first time I've heard this song, it was such a hard thing to listen to because it just made me feel hopeless. And then I listened to it more and more, and I still feel hopeless. This song is just not only political, but it feels like religious as well. You know, when there's another group, when there's groups that doesn't understand each other, there's a misunderstanding, miscommunication, or just doesn't agree on an opinion or ideals. It seems like there's always another group that's aggressive and, you know, wants to put the others down, and not only that, but kill them. And that's just like very hopeless to me, just because like, especially when he says like, you know, they made an example of him so that the man of tomorrow will never come. And it just makes me like really sad, is that makes me feel like, are we still even like worth saving? It just feels like, you know, throughout the video they showed like a lot of different political figures that tried really hard to change the world, and they always end up dying. They always end up being killed. And it just makes me feel like, are we even worth saving? We always fall into the same patterns over and over again. We always just try to shut down the opposition, and not in a kind, calm way. We always just have to like shut them down, and it makes me feel that, would there even be someone who wants to rise above it? Because like, would it even be worth it?
Yeah, this is like a very touchy song, so I'm gonna try to stay in the middle. But this kind of reminds me of a lot of like the previous Michael Jackson songs, like Man in the Mirror, Earth Song, Heal the World, just because it's talking about such a big subject. And this is very different for The Broken View. I mean, like, obviously I'm a bit of a super fan of theirs. I love their music, and typically their songs it's very personal. It's very much about heartbreak, relationships, yeah. But when this song came out, I was very dumbfounded. I was very confused, not in like a negative way, but I was like, wow, like this is a very different sound of theirs. And like, as you said, it does have a bit of that country twang, and it, man, like, even though the song is so dark and it's so gut-wrenching, man, this is a damn catchy song though. Like, I like the entire time I'm just like, you know, foot stomping and like, you know, swaying my head like back and forth. So like, I'm very happy that The Broken View are kind of stepping out of not their signature sound, but they're definitely tackling a different genre a bit, and especially kind of maybe pushing a bit of their lyrics and a bit of their meaning. But yeah, let's just dive into it. Man, this song, Man of Tomorrow, like what does that actually mean? Man of Tomorrow, I mean, I know like the lead singer is a huge DC fan, so for the superhero nerds out there, Man of Tomorrow is another name for Superman, which means could be a name of a hero. Like, who is the Man of Tomorrow? The Man of Tomorrow is supposed to be a symbolic figure that comes here and saves us all and brings us into, the day and age of tomorrow, of the golden age. And we have not had a Man of Tomorrow in a very, very long time. And as you said, every time someone comes around, whether you agree or disagree, every time someone comes around and they state their opinion, we live in a day and age now where, your life can be taken away now, just because of your thoughts or your opinion. That's very scary because sometimes we need a bit of that controversial character to come in and kind of shake the system and kind of break it down, right, and have it collapse. And sometimes it does take a very controversial, and it takes someone that you may not agree with but will maybe break down both sides, and if both sides fall, they'll crumble down in the middle and they can meet in the middle and finally talk about the issues. And it's been a long time since we've actually had a leader come into our world and actually do that, because right now we live in the most divisive side of humanity. It's either left or right, and there is no in between, and that is very disheartening because again, I don't want to get political, but there are some stuff I'm right about, some stuff I'm left about. I'm not one side or the other, but right now it's almost like you have to pick a side. And when you're on that perspective of life, it's very hard to be a leader. It's very hard to unite, because right now you're just being a leader for one side or the other. And throughout, our civilizations, throughout humanity, we've had people come in and portray themselves as the Man of Tomorrow, and they really could have been a hero. And what did we do to them? What did humanity do to them? We slaughtered them. We sliced them up, we tortured them, and we killed them. The second verse of this song, ever since I heard it from the start, like when I first heard the song, it has hit me. It really puts things into perspective.
That gathers within.
Look what happened to the martyr they made of him. People walked for miles to see where he
lay. The second verse of this song, since I heard it from the beginning, it really impacted me more than the rest of the song. Like the entire song, like the lyrics, they're very deep, they're very metaphorical, and they're very kind of punch you in the face. But this second verse, it hit me in a way where I'm like, Austin, what were you going through? Like I know my perspective, what maybe you were talking about, but were you finding your way through religion at this time? Like, I would love to know. In my opinion, he's talking about Jesus. When Jesus walked this earth, what did we do to him? Jesus, whether you are religious or not, but I'm just talking about in the context of the second verse, look what we did to him. Look what we did to a savior, someone who was, here attempting to bring us all together. Well, we made him into a martyr. We killed him. And when we did that, afterwards, he became a symbolic figure. People did walk for miles just to see where he lay. That's so beautiful. That's so that's so uplifting. And that's what we do to heroes. That's what we do to people in this world right now, where we make them into a martyr, and then they only ever have their impact when they're not here anymore. So yeah, like the Broken View, man, like this is like a very different song by them, and it's such a powerful song. It's a very generational song. It's a song for our generation, especially right now, when again there's so much divide, there's so much fighting, there's so much internal battles, not only like within ourselves, but just within our groups. Like even when you are on the same side, you're still fighting for power and for control. So I'm very excited for the rest of this album to see where they go. I've heard little snippets of the album. It's going to be incredible. We're definitely going to react to it or discuss it, because I'm very excited. But this song itself, it's such a different sounding song by the Broken View, and I'm glad they decided to like tackle this. And I'm really happy that they challenged themselves on a lyrical level and to put themselves out there and to talk about this kind of subject. It is a very controversial take, but I'm glad that they did it.
Yes, I know. I think in the beginning I said like it did like made me feel like, kind of hopeless, because like it seems like we are just repeating history over and over, like trying to like stop whoever like, we don't agree with. In a way, it's a little hopeful. It's like an existential kind of question. Like, with the man of tomorrow, will they ever come? But the only answer to that is that if we let them come, what are we gonna do? Because like it's not just like a question to like, like a hopeless type of question, but it's more like, what are we gonna do? Then we have to do something. We can't allow this anymore. Like this has to stop. This craziness has to stop. That just because we don't agree with somebody, like doesn't mean that we end their lives. Violence is never the answer. Even like, with Michael Jackson always preached, we gotta start within ourselves and be kind to ourselves and be kind to each other. Violence is never the answer. And if we want the man of tomorrow to ever come, we have to like start within ourselves, and we have to stand up too. That, like we have to stop this madness.
Well said. Yeah, it's very true, because that line where it's like, would the man of tomorrow ever want to come? Especially right now, I bet you there are a lot of people out there that would love to rise. And we are seeing that right now in the world. We're seeing a lot of revolutions occur. We're seeing governments being overthrown. We are seeing the people rise up. But man, some days it just feels like an uphill battle. It feels like an obstacle that is just very hard to conquer. And then when we see someone rise up and we see a bit of that movement, it just gets absolutely shut down. It gets obliterated. It gets annihilated. And yeah, would the man of tomorrow come? Because, like he says in the song, where it's like they made it so hard that the man of tomorrow won't ever come again. Yeah. Wow. Very powerful from the Broken View. Very different song. This song is very hard to listen to because it's almost too real. But give us some hope, the Broken View. Damn, man. There's enough darkness in this world, man. But thank you guys so much for watching. Definitely when the new album by the Broken View comes out, I don't know, I think it's like April 24th it comes out. Very excited to kind of tackle that album and to really give our review on it. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.
Yes, see you.